Hey everybody, we're in bed right now and we're going to shoot a quick film. I've been wanting to do this for a while, but I wanted to do a video about marriage. So I have about 5 topics that I want to talk about, and John doesn't know what they are, but he agreed to do the interview or the video with me. So what we're going to do is talk about things that apply to, every married couple, and just randomly go with what's on top of our head, okay? So the first topic that I want to talk about with marriage is sex. Go.
My opinion?
Mm-hmm.
I like it. But as far as after you get married,
If you didn't give like advice to anybody, what would you say?
Like positions or something?
Whatever.
We're not gonna do that. But
Yeah, you can keep it clean.
No, I'm just I guess just try to keep it spicy.
Okay.
Keep having it.
That was mine. That's one of mine.
What's your advice? Keep having it. Keep
Mine,
trying.
because mine was like when people get married,
It's real easy to get lazy.
you get lazy because it kind of gets monotonous. So, but you kind of slow down, and sometimes I don't know. It's very
Sometimes you
infrequent.
have kids.
That's true. Well, if you have kids too, you'll be tired, and so
Then they're haters. They're cock blockers. They crawl in your bed in the middle of the night. Hi, come in here. No, go away.
that's a good one.
I try to lock my door.
That's a good one. We slept with my son James for a very long time. We lived with my dad.
So that was another.
Yeah, so he would sleep in our room, and then we finally actually put him in his room. But when he was in the bed with us, I noticed that it just made me personally, less inclined to want to do anything because I have my kid in the bed. And you feel like a mom, not like, oh, I'm gonna be like your sexy wife right now with my toddler in the bed. So that's one of those things too. I would say you really have to make it a point to continue that and actually have a really good sex life. And my mom also taught me that, because that's something that brings you together. And when you stop, or it's very infrequent, then there can be a wedge there. So you want to come together physically to also come together, I guess, like spiritually.
Oh, sorry, y'all.
That's just my opinion.
We're tired. We had a
late.
swimming pool party today, so.
All right. You have any more other than just do it? And you said spice it up.
Well, I mean, like you were saying, it's real easy to.
Oh, my bad.
For it to get like real monotonous and stuff, so it's not like you have to role play or do anything like
Yeah.
that. Just
Unless you want to.
Well, yeah. I was just gonna say, sometimes you just have to like fight through, like not like, oh, I'm too tired or whatnot. Because once you get started, then you'll be like, okay, yeah. All right. I don't know. I didn't want to do this in the first place.
Okay, let's do the next one. Money. I already know what I have on that one.
What, money advice?
Yes, in marriages, anything on money.
I can go talk about this forever, but
Yeah.
I mean, just to keep it simple, have a budget, because that's where a lot of people mess up. And when you make the budget, make it together
Yeah.
so that you're on the same page.
You agree on it.
And agree on like any situations where, like say certain amounts that when you exceed a certain amount, you should ask the other person if you're about to spend it. So
like ours is what, $30?
It's not even a lot. Well, yeah, I mean, I would say probably like 50 bucks.
Yeah, I think it's like $50.
If I'm gonna spend $50, I'm gonna at least say, hey, I'm about to spend $50.
Exactly.
If one person does the budget, they might try to pay off something big, that pay period or that month or that whatever, and have that in their mind.
Yeah.
And if the other person doesn't know, $50 can make a difference. It could put you in the negative if you like try to spend everything.
Oh yeah.
Pay off like a whole credit card or something.
Yeah. Like in my opinion, money is what couples fight about the most. You're somehow it's related to money.
Yeah.
One person might be spending too much. One person might not be spending enough. One person might disagree on how it's being spent. So I really do think that, if you can, but it's okay, before you get married, that you want to talk about that. But after, you want to keep having that conversation. Okay, what's important to us financially? What are our financial goals? What are, like the budget, and knowing the difference between a need and a want, because I noticed that if you both don't agree on that, to him, like his need might be cable, but to me, that's like a want. You can live without cable. So you really want to agree on things, and you want to compromise. Otherwise,
goals.
and have goals. Yeah. How much do you want to save a month? How much do you want to spend a month? He loves to eat out.
And she likes to shop.
And I like to shop.
She's
so
like,
I like to wear my money, and he likes to eat it. He likes to eat his money.
Just saying.
I mean, I like to wear, I like clothes, I like fashion, and all that type of stuff. So I can go without eating like fast food and stuff like that. But he doesn't. He likes it. So
and there's sometimes, sometimes I would rather spend it. So we had to come to agreements on how much, like just a little working allowance that we have, so that she can't complain if I spend a certain on food, and I can't complain if she spends a certain amount on shopping.
Yeah. So that has worked out the best, for us, and we really don't argue about money anymore. But before, we used to argue all the time.
And then,
so it's got better.
The goals is a big thing, because if you both have the same goals in mind, then you're on the same page as far as like, okay, well, we're definitely not going to spend a lot of extra money vacationing or doing this, at this time, because we know that we're trying to meet our goals by certain, set goals, but then also give ourselves deadlines.
Oh, yeah, because, if you saw our vacation vlogs, we went to California, and I was like, I'm turning 30, I want to go to California. And so he was in agreement, and we knew how much we needed. So I was selling clothes off of eBay, and I got about $2,000, but we also tried to, I call it trim the fat, where we kind of cut anything,
we didn't eat
any
out
other
as much,
expense, and we kind of allotted it towards that so we could go, but he was in agreement on it. So okay, kids,
it's important to be able to talk about what each of you want, because you might have to compromise, or somebody might have to one person might have to compromise. Because
what do you mean,
if I want 10 kids and you want 2, we might compromise on 4.
He wanted.
I wanted like 5.
6. You told me 6 kids, and I was like, no, maybe 3. So I actually kind of wanted 2, and then we said, okay, 3.
Yeah, we'd be fine with 3.
So yeah.
I mean, if we have more, that's fine. We can't
ultimately, it's up to God. But in my head, I'm thinking like 3. He's thinking like he likes 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I would say you have to talk about kids, how many you want, how you want to raise them, like the beliefs and your values and all that type of stuff.
And honestly, this is my suggestion.
Yeah.
If you have, okay, I had one sister, so there were 2 of us. So I grew up wanting more than just 2, so I can have a whole group of, brothers and sisters for my kids.
I didn't know that.
Well, one thing that if you want a lot of kids, you might want to do is kind of ask people who were part of big families, like how it went.
See, I'm one of 5.
So she has a better idea. So she's
I have a big
we
family.
were always fighting. Somebody was always fighting at some point.
Yeah, someone's always.
And
mad
I never
at
thought about it that way.
Someone is always mad. But the awesome thing about when you have a big family, granted, someone is always mad at someone, but there's someone else you can get along with.
Yeah.
So there were 3 girls and 2 boys, and you can't see that. 5 kids, 3 girls, 2 boys, and so what would happen is if I was mad at like one sister, I always had another one. If I was mad at one brother, I always had another one. So it's like it's a school, you would be like, oh, they made me mad, and then then you would end up be fighting with that one next week, So it's cool. There's a lot of but you want to talk about that, like how big you want your family to be.
That, but like financial wise, it's like I didn't realize how financially straining it could be having so many kids. I mean, it should. I started to see it now, but going into it, you don't think about.
You're like,
you gotta have.
You gotta feed them.
5 kids to feed, 5 kids to clothe, 5 kids to
school,
give shelter
to.
Oh,
I'll give you one. Discipline. You have to agree on how you want to discipline your children.
Yeah, that's true.
If that, are you a timeout? Are you a spanker? Yeah. Are you a taker away? Like privileges and all that type of stuff. But you have to agree on that, because one person might not be comfortable with one mode of discipline. Mm-hmm. Some people don't discipline their kids at all. They kind of think, okay, well, I'm just being honest. So you really want to talk about your kids and, how you want to raise them. Things like that. So,
no, they should have a book. I'm sure they have a book of all the questions that you can like ask each other, dealing about like kids, family.
There is a book.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah.
We did that book when we were.
Okay, so we did a book like that.
We did that book when we were getting married.
And
this book would he has a horrible memory. The book would ask you a bunch of questions about what you thought about your life, money, family, kids, and everything, and then you had to put your opinion.
Oh, before we got married, we did marriage counseling, and that was one of the books that we did.
And then I had to put what I thought he would say about it, and then he had to put his side. So it was cool. You got to kind of see where you were in agreement and where you kind of weren't, and what you need to work on.
Yeah.
Okay. So we did sex, we did money, we did kids. Okay, dating. So we talk about this a lot with a lot of married couples dating. I feel like personally, when you get married, people stop. You stop dating. You stop really hanging out with each other, and because you feel like you see each other a lot. But I feel like you should keep dating.
Yeah.
Maybe have a date night.
Yeah. I think that everybody should have a date night, but especially when you have kids, that you have to make an effort to actually have like just a alone time date night.
Oh yeah.
Because sometimes people will like lump in like with the kids, but that's that's family night. That's family time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there are times that our marriage hit a really bad, where it wasn't good. Like we had even separated like one time. Mm-hmm. We went through a lot of bad stuff, and to where we realized that we weren't really taking care of each other. Yeah. I focused on the baby. It was only James at that time. He was focusing on what he was focusing on, but it wasn't each other. Yeah. And so we made it a point to start dating and having a date night like once a week. Mm-hmm. And then we had times where we had a family time. So, but you can't, he's right, you can't mix them. Yeah. You have, you need to have family time, but there's time, like together. Yeah. And then we try not to talk about stuff that's like home. Like, I don't want to go out on a date and talk about bills, or all that type of stuff. So
or work.
You want to like really talk to each other the way you talk to each other when you were dating. And I used to want to find things out about him. So, and I know people think, okay, you know everything, but you don't, because I always ask him, how was your day? Yeah. Something could have happened out of the usual. So I want to find out. So Cookwick's stomach is over there making noises. I'm sorry, but I don't know. I think I think people should keep dating, and that helps kind of keep that spark alive. Get dressed up. I mean, I used to love like when he would take me on a date and not tell me, and I would get excited and get dressed up and do my hair. I don't know. It's fun. I like that. So I think that's something that kind of keeps the spark alive. In my opinion, I didn't really see my parents go out on dates, but whenever I did, I would get happy for them. Yeah. And so I think it's good to show your kids that you still kind of care for each other and show them a healthy relationship, then, my parents really never did anything.
Well, also something that me and Sharron started doing as like, I guess like the next step up would be not only doing the date night without the kids, but we've even like done like little short trips without the kids for like typically it's for our anniversary. Yes, like when we went to Mexico, that was for our anniversary, so it was just the two of us.
Yeah, and that was nice because I love taking my kids out of town with me. I want them to see the world, but every now and then it's nice when you just go together and spend that time together. So
but it's also good because then it gives you a chance to miss your kids.
I agree
and appreciate them. So
okay, the last topic I want to talk about is fighting when you're married. And this doesn't even apply to when you're married. This can be, couples too. But fighting.
Okay, so
what are your thoughts on fighting?
Well, see, I have a temper. I've always had a temper. And so what I've kind of seen that has helped a lot when we fight is like actually allowing each other to communicate. And I noticed that the thing that helped us is before I used to get mad and I wouldn't really listen. I'd just be thinking about my next thing I would say to retaliate or to prove you wrong. Okay. But when I actually started listening to what you said, as I was listening to you, it would like actually take away all the things that I don't know how to say it. It's like we're both pretty fair. We'll actually like listen to what each person has to say. And actually, instead of just let our emotions get the best of us and find faults, like it hadn't always been that way, but like more recently, whenever we actually listen to each other, it it actually helped.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it. Yeah, it just helped, you know?
Yeah.
We weren't...
Yeah, because I think sometimes when you are so angry and you're so focused you're so focused on your anger that you miss out on, okay, the other person. Yeah. What's really going on? Like, what are they going through? What's in their head? Yeah. And the one advice that I actually got it from my dad, and he goes, you know, there's nothing wrong with fighting, but you have to learn how to fight fair. Yeah. And I think a lot of times when you know a person very well, it's very easy to fight dirty. And what I mean is, you know
what triggers them.
Yeah. And so you have to learn how to fight fair and not what I feel like cross the line. Yeah. So a lot of times especially like when we fight now, in my head I always go, is it worth it? Yeah. Is this really something I really want to fight about? No. Do I want to fight that John didn't take the trash out? No. You know, right now we really don't fight that much, okay? But when we do fight, it's a good one. Usually it's something like really important. Yeah. But I don't know. I just kind of, I feel like you have to learn how to fight fair and to listen to each other and really, okay. And a lot of times people are mad and they don't even know why they're mad. Yeah. So.
I think that as we've, you know, been married longer, our objective has changed. I know mine has.
What do you mean by that? Like,
because my objective used to be to win a fight.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I wouldn't care if I was wrong. Yeah. I would just want to, at the end of the fight, feel like I won it. Whereas now, I want my objective, or I think our objective really, is to resolve the problem. Yeah. You know? Like, I don't want to, anymore, I don't want to, like, walk away, like, being happy that, ooh, your feelings are hurt. Now I want to be like, well, I don't want your feelings to be hurt. I don't want mine to be hurt.
Oh, you hurt me, so I'm going to hurt you. Yeah. I can't, look. Yeah. I used to have that bad. I'd be like, man, you hurt me, so now I'm going to hurt you.
And I'm going to hurt you just as bad as you hurt me.
Oh, yeah, and then you got two pissed off people. Yeah. And I'm pretty stubborn. I can go stubborn. We can literally go a whole week and not say one word to each other.
We've gone like 3 weeks, a month, fighting before, not saying one word for 3 weeks straight. Until she made the most amazing chicken that I've ever eaten. And I had to say, time out, hold on. This chicken is delicious.
But yeah, that's one thing I've learned to do. I would be mad and then I wouldn't do things that, you know, like a good wife would still do. You still have to take care of each other. Yeah. You can't let anger get in the way. But yeah, I'd be like, man, I'm gonna wake you up. I ain't fix you no dinner. You're not getting nothing out of me. But I've grown from that. So, okay, you know what? My love for him can't be contingent on his behavior, you know?
And that's and that's probably why we don't fight as much, because it's like, even though I might be angry about something she said or did, like at the end of the day, it's like what Sharron said, is it worth it?
Is it worth it?
Is it worth, you know, the way you really should look at it is like, what if my spouse like wasn't here tomorrow? Yeah. Would it have been worth it? And I've seen it because my mom died, you know, young. You know, Sharron's mom died young. They both died the same year within 6 months of each other. But I've seen my dad like literally beat himself up over fights that he had with my mom from years ago.
Yeah,
and he's like,
you can't hold that.
You know, and you know, we've had fights in the past, but my thing is like, I don't want to like feel like either one of us went out where, you know, with just a bad fight or something. You know? Yeah. No, like I said, I've seen that, and it's hard to even just watch, you know.
Yeah, that's true. So I don't know, if you have a temper, I would say you have to really start working on if you have anger issues and that type of stuff. But my thing is, you also have to think about, okay, what am I actually really mad about? Am I hurt? Like, what's going on? And then you present it to each other. Because a lot of times if you don't, then you're just mad and then you really don't get anywhere with your argument. We've done that so much where we're like, man, you don't even know what you're mad about anymore. So you have to really kind of take a step back and be like, hey, what am I pissed off about?
Yeah. Especially if you just like let it build up, you know, and then you just blow up. That's not really fair to the other person, because they're just like, whoa, what happened you know? That's why it's important not only I'm not saying to fight, but it's important to talk about like all your issues and things like that you might have, even if it seems small and petty. Address things, you know, just because there's so many times that we've miscommunicated with each other.
It was a misunderstanding. Yeah, you're not fighting over something dumb. You're like, oh.
Right. No, but I mean, it's a miscommunication. But you ask each other, well, what did you mean by that, or what exactly, you know? And then you find out, oh, it wasn't bad.
Because for the most part, I say what I mean, and I mean like what I say. So I'm like, no, if you're confused, I would rather you ask me than to assume, and that I was, you know, trying to be passive aggressive.
Yeah.
You know, I'm more aggressive. I'll say it. I'll just be like, hey, look, you know. So that would kind of be my
and then
advice on that.
And then you also have to, not that I'm gonna sit here and everything bothers me and what did you mean by this? Like you have to pick your fights and battles.
I don't know. Yeah,
you know, some
I'm
things
starting
are
to
just
get there.
so,
I'm like, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many things I used to get caught up on when we were first married, because we've been married 8 years, and now I'm just like, it's not. I still get angry about stuff, but it's weird. If you get bothered, it rolls off my back a lot quicker. Like, okay, that's not even worth it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. And then things don't even bother you that much anymore. So
yeah.
I'd say that. But my one thing that I would say is to fight fair. You have to fight fair, because fighting is healthy. A lot of times people suppress it and go, "Oh, it's fighting bad." No, because how are you going to get it out? Sometimes a fight can be really productive, if it brings you together.
Yeah.
But you just have to fight fair. You can't allow that fight to just divide you.
Mm-hmm.
You have to allow it to bring you back together. So
yeah,
I would say fight fair.
And one of the fighting fair is like letting the other person talk. And like, don't interrupt them. Let them finish their points. Even if it seems stupid to you, if it's important to them, you got to sit there and listen to it, because
I'm big on that too. If that's how they feel, then that's how they feel. Right. Whether you think you did it or not, that's how they feel, and you have to work from there.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. You can't change how a person feels.
Yeah.
It may not be correct, and you might have to like correct him in a sense of saying, well, I'm sorry you feel that way, but that's not what my intentions were.
Yeah.
But I respect that you feel that way, but whatever.
Okay. So. Well, special thanks to John. But see, it was easy, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't bad.
No, I didn't think it would be.
I'm trying to get him to come on my channel a lot more. I like doing the interviews with him. I've done a couple. Well, you've seen them. I've done like the motherhood, the one on God, and things like that. Natural hair, but I wanted to start doing a little bit more couple ones. So, because I've gotten asked questions. So the next one that we are going to do is going to be on having an interracial relationship. I get asked a lot of questions about that, and a few from subscribers, so it'd be nice to do that one sometime soon. So anyway, if you guys have any questions for us or anything that you would like us to address, you can put your questions down below, or you can send them to my email, whatever is easiest for you, and we'll try to get to it. Okay, thank you.
All right,
bye.
Good night.